Visit Valley Park Radio online. www.valleyparkradio.org.uk. Valley Park Radio.
Darren's Valley's radio station. Valley Park Radio.
And a very good afternoon to you, everyone listening at the Darren Valley Hospital in good old Dartford town, and also all our friends who are listening on our stream as well. This is another Hope on Prescription, and good afternoon to you, Gemma.
Hello.
You thought I was going to get your name wrong, didn't you? You thought I was going to get...
Oh, is he going to do it again? I'm always quite interested to hear what name you actually come out with. I mean, we've had a variety. Jess, Emma.
To be fair, we have a variety, and it's all my fault.
Oh, but I love it. It's fine. It gives us a good giggle.
It does.
And I know that if you pass me in the street, you'd know that it was me. So it's fine.
Exactly. I was going to run for half a dozen different names.
Oh,
I'll get there.
I know you. Oh, hello. And welcome, listeners. I'm always so excited for this time of the month because we are here celebrating hope and we're listening to very important messages from people in the community. We have a very technical show today, but we are planning for it to be a great success, and I'm sure me and Dave can make it work no matter what happens. So today we are going to be speaking to Emilee Napier, a mother to a lovely boy called Bertie, who has a rare condition called BPAN. We will also be speaking to Michael, an incredible poet from Ramsgate, where he has some fantastic news to share with us, and it's all about his incredible work that he's been doing for the anthology Scene. So without further ado, let's start the show with this inspiring song that I found recently. I find it really positive, and it's teachings of the affirmations, the self-work and the self-worth, and it just shines through this song. And I think it's a great way to build a positive mindset. Let's hit it, Dave. An absolutely fantastic song. I really love this song. I'm in my kitchen, I'm dancing around, and I'm really feeling that true power within myself. It's really wonderful. So if you haven't heard it before, please do put that on your playlist. Paid to Exist. Winning! So without further ado, we are going to go into our first conversation of the day. So welcome, Emilee, to Hope on Prescription live on air. We hope to inspire hope and help services and charities raise awareness. Emilee, I'd never heard of BPAN until we discovered that Bertie's condition. Can you help tell us a little bit more about Bertie's condition and his journey so far?
Yeah, of course. So when Bertie was born, he was born with ABO incompatible jaundice, and he had like sepsis at 12 weeks. And then around 9 months, so obviously I had 3 children prior to Bert, so around 9 months I started to notice that the milestones, he just wasn't reaching them. So he wasn't sitting up, he wasn't laughing, like he wasn't doing, like he'd smile and stuff, but there just wasn't a lot that he was doing that I knew that he should have been doing. So I went to the health visitor and said to them, can you come and do like a 9-month check? She came, and that's when he got diagnosed with global development delay. And as he was getting older, like he was starting to really stim. So we just thought, oh, do you know what? He didn't have the best start of life. Like my waters went at 32 weeks. He was induced. Maybe he's got autism because he was stimming so much. And then the seizures started when he was 2, and then that's when the neurologist was like, actually, there might be something a bit more in depth wrong with Bert. I hate the word wrong. Like there's nothing wrong with him, but you know what I mean. So, yeah, they done a genetic testing. Genetic testing takes 10 months, and that's just a standard genetic testing one. They done that. That come back normal, but because the seizures kept happening, and they weren't like a typical seizure. What people, when people say seizures, like you automatically think really shaking and like a tonic-clonic one. His are only they only come from sleep. Right. So if he has a nap, he'll wake up and have a seizure. He won't just be playing one day and fall and have a seizure or anything like that, which is bizarre. So that's why they were like, right, we need to have a further genetic testing done. That took a year. And then that was in last September, so 2004, was when we got the results to say that he had a WDR45 gene that was mutated. So that WDR45 gene sits in everyone's X chromosome. So because Bertie's only got one X chromosome, and it's broken, basically, the WDR45 gene is broken, he doesn't produce protein that recycles all of his brain cells in his neurosystem and stuff. So all of like the waste gets clogged up in these cells and they end up dying, which then his body then produces iron, which then accumulates his brain. So then what his life is going to look like along the line. Oh, I'm so sorry.
No, don't be sorry. Don't be sorry.
He's going to have like Parkinson's, dementia, and dystonia, and obviously it's really life limiting. Sorry.
No, don't be sorry. It's what you're going through it's hard. It's hard, Emilee, and the fact that you're here and you're fighting for a good cause to get everything that you need to help your son, you're doing all of the right things. You guys are on a mission, aren't you, to help, because this heartbreaking challenge that you and your family face, it's difficult, but I know that you do have a fantastic support group now, don't you? And where can people go if they are experienced BPAN within their family and need that extra support?
Well, when we got the diagnosis, because it was quite vague when we got the diagnosis, it was very much like he's got a WDR45 gene that's mutated, and that was it. There was no BPAN or any other. That was all I got. I had to Google WDR45 gene, look right into it, and then I see BPAN. So I then typed in BPAN on Facebook to see whether there was anyone that had spoken about it before, and there was a BPAN families group on Facebook, and through that, to get into the group, you have to obviously show your diagnosis letter, and through that, I met parents of boys, which is lovely for me because I didn't because boys are just, they're so rare, they shouldn't have even made pregnancy. Do you know what I mean? So for me, it was lovely because I see boys that were like 15, 16, do you know what I mean? And they're still okay. Yeah. So it gave me hope. Do you know, and I was able to then meet Kelly and Nicole, who are the founders of Action for BPAN. They're two mums. They both have children with, they both got little girls that have got BPAN, and they both come together and have fought for this charity. And obviously they're fighting for a cure, do you know what I mean? And if it wasn't for them, none of us other mums and dads and other family members would have any of this. Like, we wouldn't have anywhere to put this energy of trying to find a cure for them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's important to definitely not feel alone during these times. So the fact that there are groups out there. So if anybody listening has experienced or know a family that is experiencing BPAN within their families, then please do give it a Google and find some local support groups and get the support, because am I right in saying, Emilee, it's really helping you along the way?
Yeah, definitely. And Action for BPAN's website as well, they've got like a whole section of how they can help support families as well. It's not just about fundraising on there. They do actually help with families that are going through the same stuff that we've all been through. And because also through TikTok as well, like, I've been able to find, a parent has been able to find me through TikTok, and she didn't even know anyone else with a BPAN. She didn't know that there was a cure getting made or anything like that. She was completely left in the dark with it. And because I've been trying to boost up my TikTok with Bertie's journey to get the awareness out and stuff, she found me through that. So it's lovely. Do you know what I mean? Like, social media is good in a way. Like, if you've got the right platform and you've got the right intentions and stuff like that, like, you should get it out there a lot. And that's what we need. We need the awareness, because I didn't even know what BPAN was before the diagnosis. Do you know what I mean? So nobody else is going to know unless you're affected. And that's why we need to get it out there, so then we know, then people can know what the charity is that's going to help fund the cure.
Absolutely. And you held an event the other week yourself, didn't you, to raise awareness and to hopefully get some funding towards BPAN. And it was a great success. Can you tell our listeners a little bit more about that?
Yeah, that was fantastic. So Kelvin Cross is a coach there at Surrey FC, and the manager Dave Bubb as well. Dave Bubb, sorry. They both come to me. Kelvin comes to me and was like, "Look, let's do a little charity match for Bertie." And it wasn't even meant to be massive. Do you know what I mean? But it got huge, and there was like donations coming from all local businesses for the raffle. They done like all the boys started playing football. There was a massive football match. Like loads of people come to play. We ended up raising just over £4,000.
Wow, that's amazing. Good.
I know the support was just incredible. Like we've got a GoFundMe that's open, and we're going to keep that open just because we're just going to try and obviously get some more funding, because Action for BPAN need 2.3 million in the next 2 years for this to happen.
Right.
So obviously that's why we're trying to raise as much money as we can, because they have done well though. They've raised just over 100,000 in 8 months.
That's incredible.
But obviously, yeah, it is incredible. Like, don't get me wrong, it is. But compared to what we need, do you know what I mean?
You've still got a way to go.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And if no one knows about, this is why, like, if no one knows about it, no one's going to ever, when a charity's ever going to get nominated, no one's ever going to sit there and think, oh, we'll do Action for BPAN, because nobody knows about it.
Absolutely. So it's getting that message out, isn't it? It's telling people
definitely.
This is what's happening to our children. This is what we need to be able to help our children and help future children that may experience this. So how, if we have some listeners who want to get involved and help support the journey of BPAN reaching that goal, how and where can people go to find out more, Emilee?
Well, we on TikTok I'm doing a Bert's BPAN journey, so that's at Bert's BPAN journey, and actionforbpan.com as well. They have that's obviously got all of the stuff on there about the cure. They've got the stuff on there about Kelly and Nicole and how they done the charity and stuff. They've got the support links, so they're really good to go on.
Yeah, fantastic. Thank you. And what we'll do, listeners, is we will share this information over on Hope on Prescription on Facebook, and we'll also put it up on our website, hopeonprescription.co.uk. So any of our listeners, if you're regular listeners but you didn't quite catch those social follow-ins, then please do head on over to our usual platform and we will share that out and try and raise as much awareness and support as possible, because this is very, very important. There are lots of little children's lives depending on this, so we need to, get that message out. Thank you so much, Emilee, for coming along to the show today and to speaking out for Bertie. And you're doing everything right as a mother, and just carry on pushing through, and let's hopefully get you the support and the awareness that you need.
Oh, thank you so much for having me on and letting me raise awareness about BPAN. I really appreciate it.
No, you're more than welcome. Emilee, you take care now. And Dave, could we move on to our next song? Thank you.
And you're listening to Hope on Prescription here on Valley Park Radio.
Looking for a dose of hope? Welcome to Hope on Prescription, where creativity meets community healing. Join hosts Gemma Burgess and Dave Lockyer on Valley Park Radio, live every fortnight for real stories, songs, poems, and inspiring guests. Discover workshops, competitions, and events promoting creative health and well-being. Get involved or share your service at www.hopeonprescription.co.uk. Follow us on Facebook at Hope on Prescription, because sometimes hope is just a story, a song, or a brushstroke away, inspiring hopeful hearts through expressive arts.
Well, how inspiring was Emilee, Gemma? Wow.
Oh gosh, honestly, it hurts my heart, Dave. I wish I could heal everyone. I wish I could
exactly
give and just have that power to take away that pain for their family. But what we can do is we can raise awareness. We can
get it out there. So actually, raise awareness.
That's it. Share it with as many people as you can. Just let people know what this is and support as and where you can. Indeed, even a conversation about it is so empowering and important. I'm just so grateful. If you were listening and you do want to find out a little bit more, please do head on over to TikTok at Bert's BPAN Journey, and you'll see Emilee. She's sharing her story. She's informing you about how you can get involved, and it's just a great experience to be involved in because it's so important and powerful for these children. Like they need you, so please do head on over to see where you can support. So we're going to go to our next guest speaker for today, and this is the wonderful Michael. Michael is a deaf poet from Ramsgate, and he started writing poetry in 2019 to channel his grief after he'd lost his mum. He is severely deaf and wears bone-anchored hearing aids. Michael also has Crohn's and OCD and is an advocate for hidden disability awareness through poetry. In December 2023, Michael raised over £400 for performing 7 poems about IBD across 7 different venues in 7 days to raise funds and awareness for Crohn's and Colitis UK charity. He has won multiple poetry slams. He was a runner-up in the Kent Poetry Slam Grand Final in 2024, which is held at Dreamland in Margate. Michael has had his poetry featured in local magazines, and in 2025 Michael was awarded an Arts Council grant to develop his creative practice, which is fantastic. Michael is the editor of the poetry anthology Scene, a collection of poems about hidden disabilities and conditions. I'm really excited to introduce Michael to the show today. Michael, please tell our listeners a little bit about yourself.
Hi everyone, my name is Michael and I live in Ramsgate. I'm a stay-at-home dad. I live with my wife Lindsay and my 3 boys Alex, Billy and Jake.
Oh, lovely, lovely. What form of creative expression do you engage in, Michael?
So my creative approach is based on an emotional response to life. I use words to convey my feelings both in written form and performance. For example, I have Crohn's disease, and when I'm having a flare or I'm in pain, I'll use words to portray a picture of what I am experiencing in that moment in time.
Absolutely. It's so powerful, and you can definitely use creativity to help with that expression. Michael, how did you become a poet?
I became a poet in 2019. I'd always had a difficult relationship with poetry prior to this. I suppose I just didn't get it. When I was studying it for my degree back in 2002, trying to decipher it, understand it, felt like code breaking. Fast forward to 2019, where I stumbled upon some nationwide adverts featuring poets and spoken word artists. There was a poem by Holly McNish called Little Things, and it was to do with motherhood, which ironically would go on to tie in with how I began writing poetry. I just loved the themes, relatable content, the rhythm and the performance of the poem. Holly is a great poet, and from then on I became hooked on spoken word. This proved to be invaluable when my mum died in May of that year, as I started to write words which became lines, which became verses, which became poems. It saved me from heading towards a difficult place mentally. It was and still is an outlet for my grief.
I'm so pleased that you've managed to find such a therapeutic way to express your emotions, especially through those difficult challenges. Myself, I do very much use poetry as a form of expression, and it connects people, and it helps them see, you know, that you're not alone, you're experiencing this together. Michael, what are the main themes in your poetry?
The main themes in my poetry are grief and what that looks like. I love writing about the sky, particularly the sun and the clouds. The little things like this I appreciate even more so since my mum died. As a sufferer of Crohn's and OCD, as well as being severely deaf, I write a lot about disability awareness, hidden disabilities in particular.
Yes, and it's very important, and it's wonderful actually that you're able to write about these things through writing, through poetry. And just coming back to what you said a moment ago about how poetry in school always seemed quite complicated in your degree and things like that, because it focuses on the structural side of things, but there are also sides of poetry where you can explore like a free flow, and you can just express yourself naturally without those constraints. And it's wonderful to see and hear that you are doing that to help you in emotional circumstances. Before we carry on, let's go to Michael's first song, Sky Full of Stars.
Yep, we played that a little bit earlier on, but because it's Michael's song, we're going to play it again.
How lucky could one guy be? I've switched off the BBC and I've tuned in instead to Valley Park Radio. The music they play is fine, it's just like a vintage wine. So I'll stay here in bed with Valley Park Radio.
And indeed, you're listening to Hope on Prescription here at Valley Park Radio, playing for the patients, the staff, their friends and family of the Darren Valley Hospital. Anyway, you're chatting to Michael, who's a very interesting person.
Yes, I was indeed. So, Michael, do you think creativity, things like poetry, can be important for well-being and healing?
What defines us as humans? You get to know a lot about a person through their words, their art, their movement in things like dance, and their performance when they immerse themselves in a world of drama. We all have stories of recovery, stories of pain and suffering, stories of hope, stories of happiness and laughter. These are all things that are important in communication, especially as the more we learn about each other enables us to boost our well-being, because we feel like we are being listened to, and that will ultimately lead us to heal better, hopefully.
Absolutely, I couldn't agree more. I through experience and participants that attend my workshops, they say it's not therapy, but it is therapeutic, and it really helps them to feel seen, to feel heard. Have you had any standout achievements for you recently, Michael?
I think the most obvious achievements have been winning poetry slams, being runner-up at the Kent Grand Slam Championship final at Dreamland, which was such a wonderful experience. Being invited to perform at venues across Kent has been an honour and a privilege. I've even led poetry workshops this year, which has been a wonderful thing, encouraging and helping others to read, write and perform poetry is very rewarding, both for them and for me. If I had to choose one particular standout moment, it would be the very first time I attended an open mic and read my poems. I felt welcomed, seen, heard and included. To be part of the poetry community is such a wonderful thing. They've become a scaffolding of support in my most difficult times. I've lost 4 mothers over the past 6 years. My grandmother, my wife's grandmother, my mother-in-law and my own mother. I think I would have crumbled without my poetry family.
It's so nice to hear that you have that support network through something so empowering. I'm really, really pleased. And at Hope on Prescription, we always explore the power of hope and how it comes to life in different people's lives. Michael, what does hope mean to you?
Hope to me is constant. Nobody can take hope away from you. It's a very personal thing. It's part of our minds. It's the heart of our emotions. Even in our most difficult times, there's always hope. The sun is always shining, even if you can't see it.
Absolutely. And I'm a strong believer. It's always there. We just sometimes need something or someone to help encourage it, to reignite that spark, isn't it? So, Michael, you actually reached out to me about your incredible anthology that you're creating. Could you tell us about the poetry anthology?
So the anthology is something I've been wanting to do for a long time. Being diagnosed with Crohn's at 13 was incredibly difficult. I felt embarrassed and I was unable to talk about it to my friends. Frequent toilet visits made me prone to bullying, and this affected my mental health. Growing up, I learnt that Crohn's was one of many invisible conditions that people struggled in silence with. Then I found poetry, which enabled me to open up more about my condition. It was cathartic and liberating. I wanted to break the stigma surrounding Crohn's and talk about it more frankly to help others and maybe inspire them too, which led to the creation of the anthology. The anthology is a project where I am using the poetry skills I have developed with the help of my Arts Council grant, which I was awarded this February.
Fantastic. Congratulations. That's so wonderful to hear. Now, we will return to discuss a little bit more about your future plans and the anthology in a moment, but let's go for Walking on Sunshine.
Bit of trivia for you here, Gemma. Do you know that was the last song to win the Eurovision Song Contest for the UK? Yeah. It was. It's the last time we won, and it was that one. The irony of it is Katrina is Canadian.
Well, it's a good song indeed.
It certainly is. This is Hope on Prescription, coming at you live from our little studios down in the dungeon at the Darrant Valley Hospital. And Gemma, you've been talking to Michael.
I have indeed. So we was just going to move on to the next question and ask, what are your future plans going forward, Michael?
So going forward, my future plans include hopefully to create my own poetry book with my own poems in. I'd love to keep facilitating more workshops and just basically to continue to raise awareness for disabilities and conditions, particularly hidden disabilities and conditions.
Absolutely. Really powerful work there. And do let me know when you publish your book, because I will be one of the first to grab a coffee. I'm very inspired by your work. In fact, I would love for you to share with us the poem that you have in the anthology, if you like.
The Ticket Hall. Every time I visit Ramsgate Station, I stand in the epicentre of the cathedral domed hall. I always throw my voice into its atmosphere, and the echo never disappoints. Huh? 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 Eh? 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 L? 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 Oh? 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 Hello, hello, hello! The replica of my voice bounces back at me, passing through my hearing aids in the guise of vibrations which pass through the implants at the back of my skull, shudder in my head, making my teeth chatter as the sound wave continues its descent down every vertebrae of my spine, down the backs of my legs, pinging each nerve en route, bringing a numbness to my stance that almost makes me buckle. It feels like my soul is about to purge out of the soles of my feet. The momentary pins and needle sensation under each foot threatens to floor me, and then nothing. Just a brief moment of shh, shh, shh. A tingle of cold air pierces through the mute bubble. It reaches my index finger first. My eyes immediately catch the sight of the shiny foil interior of an empty crisp packet, the strengthening breeze bouncing and brushing it off and along the ticket hall floor. Sweet wrappers and shreds of newspaper follow in synchronicity. As this trail of junk becomes a makeshift barometer, the shifting beneath my feet is the rumbling of an arrival. My echo feels like it's been sent to reply, more and more shaken until the unmistakable feel of something slowing down, the squeak of fierce metal hitches a ride with the deep rumbles as these waves begin their ascent up my spine, using my vertebrae as steps until the sound of a breaking train reaches and powers through the titanium in the back of my head, instantly flinging it backwards. The shock triggers my jaw to drop open. Swirls of cold air escape from my mouth, forming the shape of a train. This is an exorcism of sound. The ghost train dances around the rafters of the ticket hall roof until the 8:28 train arriving at platform 2. Tannoy vacuums it from existence, yet it remains in the archive of my memory, permitting me the freedom to relive every single moment.
Wow. Gosh.
Absolutely brilliant.
Yes, fantastic, Michael. Thank you so much. I'm just blown away by that poem. Actually, I'm a little bit lost for words, and I'm just really grateful that there are people that are brave enough to share, to speak out, to talk about these difficult things, and I think it's really important. So yeah, thank you so much for everything that you're doing. And I'm also really excited to share with the listeners that I will be featuring in Scene, the anthology, myself. So for those of you who know a bit about my background, I have suffered with depression and anxiety since my teens. I battle on a daily basis with imposter syndrome and on a weekly basis, unfortunately, suicidal ideation. It really runs me down. As much as I try to be really positive, lift myself up, I do have a part of my mind that wants to seem to push me back down. And this poem that I'm featuring in Scene demonstrates the hope that I was just so desperate to find on so many occasions. Some of you may have heard this before because I released it originally for a project called 18 Lines. And for some of you, this will be landing in your ears for the very first time. This is And Give Me Hope. And give me hope. When shivers form lumps in my skin, goosebumps forging that frog in the throat. Hope as I learn to cope. And give me hope as I discover myself unknowing my known that I didn't know that I needed to know in order to grow. But my body knew before the mind's eye did show. These roots grew growing parts of me that I see as weeds that become unattachable. Learning to love my speaks, healing, it's all natural. Yet it feels unnatural to love me and my beauty, to love me and my ugly. So give me hope as I'm tiptoeing across tight ropes that come loose beneath my feet. Give me hope when I am weak. Buried deep, muddy puddles created from silent weeps. Give me hope as I learn to let go and regrow out of the shadowed shadows as the trees' leaves represent letting go with ease. Oxygen to breathe, could you please? Lend me a helping hope to hold my hand as the I in me reaches from the earth and is learning to stand. Thank you. It's such an important poem for me, actually, and all the poems that are going to be in the anthology are no doubt a mirror image of what that person has been going through. It is called Scene, and there is an event being held about it at the weekend, but again, I will share some information about this incredible anthology over at Hope on Prescription, so you can follow the links and look at getting a copy or looking at speaking to Michael. That is absolutely all going to be there for you later on within the week. Dave, could we please play Michael's final song choice this week, and that is Proud by Heather Small.
And this is Hope on Prescription with Dave and Gemma.
Hello. So we was just talking about the incredible anthology. Michael, can you please provide us with the details of how people can get the anthology, or maybe they can come to the event, perhaps?
The anthology is currently on a limited run, with copies being donated to libraries, universities, schools, charities, hospitals, anywhere it will make and have a positive impact. There's going to be further details on how to purchase a copy, and these will be shared in due course.
Thank you so much for coming on the show today, Michael. I really look forward to seeing you myself at the weekend.
Thank you very much for having me. It's been a pleasure and honour to be on the show. Bye.
Bye, Michael.
Fantastic. You know, this has been such a moving show and empowering show, and it's just a gentle reminder that, you know, having an illness doesn't have to stop you. Sometimes it can be the spark that helps you create, it helps you connect and shine. Today, our guest speakers have shared powerful stories of resilience, raising awareness around BPAN and mental and physical health, and the hidden challenges that so many of us face each and every day. Their message and ours is simple: never give up hope. You're not alone. There are people and services and creative communities ready to walk beside you. At Hope on Prescription, we believe in the healing power of expression, using writing and arts to reconnect yourself and with others. To find out more, you can follow us over on Instagram and Facebook and join the movement that's inspiring hopeful hearts through expressive arts. Together, we can keep brightening light, keep connecting with people, keep being creative, being honest, stepping up about your stories, speaking out, raise awareness. We're here to help. Thank you so much for listening today. Dave, you have a lovely song for us to finish on today, don't you?
To say goodbye, and our next show is on the 11th of December, on Thursday, 11th of December. You've got something exciting happening in a couple of weeks' time.
I do, yes. I've been invited to speak at the conference for the Baton of Hope, so unfortunately I won't be here, but I will still be spreading hope in different venues.
Gemma, you'll smash it. See you later, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.